afternoon. My name is Lloyd and I source cars for people on a professional basis, hence the name of my channel, Lloyd Consulting. 4 years ago, I was asked to come up with a series of videos that were filmed inexpensively. We don't use digital cameras, we don't use fluid head tripods, we don't use shotgun microphones, we wear tatty shirts, we just use a phone. But we look at cars that you can buy for a budget up to £1,000 only, and we very much enjoy ourselves. These are cars that might be in cosmetically bad condition. You might see oil leaks, rattly dashboards and cosmetic imperfections, but we go all over the country and we find these very inexpensive cars that you all seem to enjoy watching. Well viewers, welcome to one of the rarest cars we've ever had on No Budget Reviews. Have we had it on the channel before? Yes. Have we had it on No Budget Reviews before? No. The reason is this car, when I first filmed it in 2021, exactly the same location, it's with the same owner, it wasn't in the best sort of health. It was very rusty. In fact, it's so rusty it was going to fail the MOT, and needed some paint, the wheels needed doing, and it needed a starter motor. All those things have now been done. It's got an MOT, wheels look fantastic, bodywork has improved, although unfortunately bodywork was done at some point in the spring of last year. It's already starting to rust again. What a surprise that there aren't many of these left. So yes, H registration, Yugo 45A. The A stands for America, and of course over there they were sold as the Yugo GV, or variants on the GV name, imported by Malcolm Bricklin. Yes, the Hyundai Stella is in another review. I've just filmed that actually. So yes, but this is actually a sort of later car. They started importing them around 1991, 1992. They started with this particular model of Yugo in 1983, although they've been on sale in other parts of the world since about 1980, I think this one came out. Very heavily based on the Fiat 128. I think some elements even the 127. Certainly it's a similar size of car to the 127, maybe a little bit bigger than that. But the design work is of course not Fiat, it's Yugo's own. This car has a very, very sort of old design of engine dating back to the 50s in it actually, although it's in this case it's 903cc as opposed to about 600, which it was originally. So everything about this car is just obviously built down to a price. Just everything you touch is very, very basic, and some of it's very, very flimsy. But then again, this is one of the cheapest cars you could buy at the time, so it's not really a surprise. Because Mr. Manning from the Matty's Cars channel says I have to, I'm going to try to get in the back of this Yugo again. I got in the back in 2021. Can I do it again? Or I'm going to sound like Roger Moore's stunt double from View to a Kill. Ah, actually, I got in. I mean, once you're actually in, I'm not really sure I want to put my seat down, but I'll do it for you, viewers. It's okay. I wouldn't want to sit behind the driver. Now, Alex, who owns this car, is not particularly tall, so he's got a seat set in his position. I'm not going to alter that necessarily too much. But yeah, you know, not that much room. But then loads of little cars like this around in the 1980s and early 90s on the UK market that people just used to sort of get on with, didn't they? Got fixed seat belts in the back. As you know, I'm not a massive fan of fixed seat belts. We do have is, ooh, twin ashtrays. Yeah. All the luxury of the A for America, twin ashtrays. Actually got little pockets for things in here, zip up pockets. That's luxury, isn't it? And vinyl backs on the seats. Is there a middle seat belt? Yes, there is. Actually is. There's actually 3 seat belts in the back of here. I don't really think I'd fancy travelling with, you know, 2 chums in the back of here. It would be a bit tight. In fact, I think I'm going to get out of here because I need to be freed from my self-imposed prison. Oh gosh. There's the impression of Roger Moore's stunt double from Due to a Kill for you. Yeah, not the best driving position in the world, if I'm honest. I don't think the seat goes down any further. I think this is it. You can go back and forth. I don't think you can go down. The pedal is right over here. That's not the best driving position in the world. How this car got there and back to first seat on exceptional without causing severe cramp to Alex who's driving it, I don't know. But there we go. Incredibly basic instrumentation. People say that this is one of the highest mileage Zastavas or Yugos. Yugo was the kind of brand name used over here, but Zastava was the company that made the cars, and that was used in other markets. It's one of the highest mileage ones of these over in this country at 96,000 miles. But yeah, no rev counter, no clock. You get a fuel gauge, you get a temperature gauge, and that's it. You don't even get 2 lights for indicators, you just get 1. And also the fan is over here. That is for the fan speed, and the rest of the controls are down there. I don't know why. This is for the lights, things like the main beam and things like that on this stalk. And this is the indicator stalk just here. Oh my gosh, that sounds just... But somehow, you know, 32, 33 years later, this stalk is still actually working. Can't be that bad then, can it? Fog lamp for some reason is there. Rear heated window is here. Hazard lights are there. That is for the wash wipe, and the main lights are there. Windy windows, of course. What else do you expect? We've not even got a brake servo in this car. We haven't even got a glove box. And we've only got a 4-speed gearbox. I think some of the other Yugos, like the 55 and 65, might have got a 5-speed. This does not. It's a 4-speed, and wow, that's floppy. Oh gosh, it's just a sort of part of the fun of this, though, isn't it? It may not be the best car, and I think people knew that even at the time that they weren't. But it's just something about this. It's just so unbelievably kind of hilarious, this car. And you know, it's only really got more hilarious since I filmed it in 2021 for a little walk around. Yeah, there's a tiny little catch there to get you in and out. There's nothing you don't need. We're gonna have to look at the boot mode views. I'm gonna have to take this key with me. Tiny, tiny key. And let's see if we can get in the back. Have to use this, aren't we? Like this, or is it like that? Hold on a second, viewers. The correct key now. So lift this up. The sill on this is massive, isn't it? Oh dear. Sorry, Alex. Yeah, I mean, if this shelf's out of the way, it's not bad actually. There's quite a lot of space in here. Certainly more than quite a lot of other cars of this today. And it's got a separate reservoir for the rear washer fluid. You've got to remember that sometimes the basic Metros didn't come with a rear wash wipe. So that was kind of something that this car has a standard rear wash wipe, and it's sort of like towards the bottom of the range at the time. You've got a Yugo branded sort of toolkit in there, and that I think is the original dealer plate from Robertson Wilkinson in Porchester, where this car was registered back in 1990. Yeah, that's not much else to say really. So this is the 903cc overhead valve engine, generating 45 horsepower, hence the name of the car. As you can see, there is the brake fluid and things like that there. We do not have a brake servo, not even a remote one in this car. A bit like a 127 really. Those didn't necessarily have them. Engine coolant, windscreen washer reservoir, and things like that. Not really much else to say. There is the gearbox, 4-speed manual. Oil leaks aplenty. It's a very old car. But yeah, you know, it's the parts for the Fiat, but you can see kind of like some servo crow-out or whatever it is on there. And there's also some English sort of stickers like calling it under pressure, do not open radiator cap when hot. But yeah, what a fantastic car. I think at the back here as well, I forgot to say, these are the facelifted rear lights, which came in around 1987. Separate fog light because some markets didn't need one, whereas we did, I think, from 1981. Right, I've been putting this off for a bit, viewers, but we are going to have to go out for a drive. So here we go. While we're moving, viewers, I'm afraid I forgot my normal mount for this car, and we're so on my old mount. I suppose it's appropriate really, because this car is a bit sort of wobbly, and yeah, it's not very fast or anything like that. There's no brake servo or anything. The pedals are in a terrible position. Are we going to stop? Yes, we are. Good. Whoops. Right, don't stall. What an absolutely hilarious car. Just completely and utterly ridiculous. Yeah, not much power, viewers. I think Alex said it does 60 miles an hour, but I wouldn't want to go even as fast as that, to be honest, in this, if it were me. There were more powerful versions of the Yugo available in this country. This is the 903cc. There was also a Yugo 55 with a whole 1 litre of engine capacity, which generated 55 horsepower. There was also a Yugo 60, that wasn't sold over here. Find a gear. There we go. There's a gear. Whoops. I'll have to just stay out of... oh, someone's coming towards me. No, don't come near me. I know I'm going to come off worse. I've got about as much crash protection as a baked bean can. If you wanted to go even faster, there were a couple of other options. In this country, there was the Yugo 65 with 65 horsepower. You could get that with a carburettor, or you could get that with electronic fuel injection. Fancy. And yeah, 65 horsepower. Some of the market tells you go 60, which generated 60 horsepower. Yeah, the gearbox is kind of like approximate in terms of where the gears are. That's all I would say. Steering's very light. You know, you don't need power steering. You honestly, if you're careful, you don't really need servo-assisted brakes. The main problem with this car, though, is just kind of thinking that if anything happens to me, I'm just going to come off worse than really, you know, anything else. So we'll just drive nice and slowly and take it easy and try not to get too utterly terrified, shall we? Yeah. So it's kind of hilarious. It's probably not actually as bad as a city roader that I drove, but it's not far off in terms of the driving experience. Is that third? Yes, it is. Okay, I think that's quite enough for you. Let's take this car back, shall we? Lloyd Vehicle Consulting stickers, t-shirts and mugs are available by clicking the link to the Google form in the video description below. So viewers, how do we sum up this Yugo 45A in terms of sensible consumer advice? There's not really much sensible consumer advice to do with a Yugo, is there? You either think it's the most hilarious thing ever and you kind of enjoy yourself, or you get absolutely terrified and you want to get out. My experience falls somewhere in between. I'm very glad to have driven one of these. Apparently there are less than 10 of this type of Yugo on the road in this country, possibly of all Yugos of this country. So I think this experience is actually quite unique and I'm very grateful to have had it. But am I just terrified of what happened just now when taking it on the road? Absolutely. So thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Obviously leave a comment below.
Thank you to Alex for letting me have a go of this incredibly rare Yugoslavian treat. And we shall see you again soon for more extremely cheap motoring.